Hello everybody, this is a bit of a different video than I may usually make. Maybe I do something sciencey or I repair something. This is more of a tutorial thing, which I don't really tend to do a lot because I'm not so good at explaining all the time. But you know, you're thinking, what is this? Well, yeah, we've got a remote control there. That's nice. We all have a television nowadays, right? What's the big deal? Well, this video is about repairing the buttons. So as you can see, this is a remote control. Nothing seems to be wrong with it. And this is a DS. Now, this DS has, you know, buttons, and all of these work. That's all okay. But it has these shoulder buttons back here. And they tend to fail on a lot of consoles, handheld consoles, maybe a PlayStation. It's a PlayStation 3 controller, a bit of an older one, but as you can see, these buttons, they can all fail. So I'm going to show you what to do with what type of button, because there are generally two types of buttons used, and I will be focusing on these two because these two need a little bit of a repair. The first one is this button. This button is, as you can maybe hear, it clicks. So I'll just grab an example of what type of button that is. These shoulder buttons, for example, work with a little button like this, which is also called dip switch or whatever you may hear. It's not really a dip switch, maybe. I don't know what the exact definition of it is, but it's one of these buttons, and it works with mostly two metal plates or something similar that touch when you close the switch like this. So it's made out of metal on the inside with metal plates or metal things. You have to treat them differently than the other type of button, which I will get to right now. This type of button, like in a remote control or in like the PlayStation 3 controllers, you have to watch out for that, is a rubber dome. Alright, you have a little rubber mat on the inside, which I will show you, and you have a little PCB with copper tracks and some copper parts under the button over here. There's a little thing with like little lines going, like one above, under that one is a line like this, and then connected to that line is another line. You know, you got some lines lined up like this or some order like that. I will show you that. That's different. That's carbon. That's coated onto the copper, and that can easily wipe off. So if you are not gentle enough. So we'll get to that in a second. First, the easy tactile-ish button. In this case, I'm using a DS as an example because they tend to have these buttons fail sometimes. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Alright, as you can see, this is a DS, this is an oldie, so that's why the buttons kind of break. And as you can see in the screen here, if I press one of these buttons, the camera app should open. I'm pressing the button and nothing is happening. This one should do the same thing, but nothing is happening. Be opening the camera like this, but if I press it like this, it opens the camera. And now back. This one, it doesn't work. It opens the camera. So they're not completely broken. They still make contact, but they're corroded or they're nasty on the inside. Not sure, but they can still work. So they're not completely broken. And I hear no weird springy sounds. If you do, just take it apart. It's quite easy. In this case, we'll just have to remove the stylus. And we're just going to dig in and see what we can find in this DS.
Where is it written that all our dreams must be small ones?
So once you kind of are going to pop it open, you have to be very careful for ribbons. If you're opening something like a console, a handheld console, there will be ribbons. So in my case, there will be a ribbon right over here, which I can just pop off like that, and there we go. So here we have a DS from the inside. We're not going to do anything with that because I don't have to. Alright, sorry, I just had to zoom in really quick. But what we do want to take a look at in this case is this over here. Yeah, we're going to have to disassemble this. So we just take a screwdriver. And this is actually the stylus compartment for the DSi. It looks kind of cool. I mean, it looks kind of like a very weird, I don't know, yeah, it looks weird. It's cool. Alright, so that's attached to that. So just take that out as well. Alright, in that case, get this plastic out. Get this out, as you can see. It's just plastic. Keep it in a safe spot. Okay, so we can now disassemble the springy thingy system that's over here. Okay. Okay, so we're getting to it. Now the last screw. And that's that. Now be careful of ribbons, obviously. But this over here is, oh, my SD card that's still in there. And that's great. Oh, I just, wait. Whoopsie doopsie. That's my fault. I had to think of that before I did this, but I didn't. Alright. So that's why you should always watch the videos first. Okay. So here's the little tactile button. As you can see, it's very, very small. If it's completely broken, just look on eBay or AliExpress and try to replace it. But if it is not completely broken, which is one thing you can... What you can try with these buttons, which you cannot try with the rubber dome ones like your... like this, right, is contact spray. So I have contact sexy. Yeah, I don't know if this is... it looks like it's German. One of the neighbor countries of my country, let's say. It's a neighbor, you know, Germany. Contact sexy, maybe, something like that. Not sure. Maybe it's just contact and then 60. I'm not sure. It's contact spray, labeled 60. Contact gamey. Not sure what it's all about. But this is really nice for metal switches and metal contacts and whatnot, because it helps to remove the corroded layer of metal. Alright, so you get this little nozzle thingy, and you kind of just want to get a little bit in there, just a little bit. So I'm just going to, there we go. Maybe a little more, get in there. There we go, that should be good. So you can clean some spills and stuff, you can clean that up. But now, what you want to do is you want to just click that button a few times. So you just want to get something that you can click it with. And you just want to click it, okay, that doesn't really work. And you just click the button. So just work that in. Remove the corroded layer a little bit. It sounds fine, so that should be fine. Now I'm just going to get something to clean this up with. What you can do after doing that, I just zoomed out really quick because it looks better. Because it's a digital zoom, I'm sorry. Don't have my analog zoom with me, or optical zoom, however you want to call it. Okay, just clean that off, because there's a little bit inside of the button, and that's all we need. So now we want to get this in the original spot. It has to be like this. A little ribbon cable. So just going to adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to screw that back in. Okay. It sounds better than the other one. This sounds more tactile now. This sounds a little dull. You hear that? So it definitely did something, because I'm pretty sure this one was dull as well, but maybe wrong. Maybe it's just that my ears want this to be good. I don't know, but now it's time for this. Now it's time for this compartment thingy over here. So I'm going to take everything out again. So here we go. Here are the volume buttons as well. Over here. They are completely fine. They are these metal things as well, but they have a bit of like tape thing over them. All right, if I just show you up really close, as you can see here, if I just zoom in really quick, you can see there's a little bit of tape over them. Yeah, so that's that. But what we are after is this button over here. I mean, if this button is if this button is broken for you, then you can try doing that. It's a little bit harder. Maybe you want to get some new tape on there as well. But I'm after this button at least. So I'm going to get some. So I'm just going to get some toilet paper out, or maybe some paper towels, whatever you have, and spray some in. Okay, so now there are a couple less spills, because I don't want that over here. Now I'm going to work it in. Yeah, it definitely sounds better after a little bit of clicking. So clean it off and put it back together. Alright, there we go, that is that. So this one definitely has a less dull click for however, I don't know. So let's try it out and put it back together in the DS itself. It should sit like this. So you want to get your ribbon cable and you want to gently, you just want to get it like this, very gently. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, let's try it out. Well, it works. Alright, so volume buttons work because they were on the same ribbon. I think... Oh, right. Yeah, it works better. Yeah, it definitely works better. So what I suggest you do now is when you get it back together, you just press it a couple of times like that to make sure that it works. And there you go. Right, so yeah, that works pretty well. Eventually I will have to replace them, of course, because they're going to break someday. But yeah, the corrosion and stuff, that's all the gunk and stuff, that's all good. So yeah, on to the next type of button. Alright, for this example, I will be using this remote control. This remote control has a little bit of a problem. I'm not going to use the PlayStation controller because that one doesn't have a problem, but it has the same button style. And you cannot use contact spray because this is a different type of button. There's no metal really in here. So for the buttons at least, there's no metal used. So I will show you the problem. As you can see, I'm pressing this button, and you can see I'm having to press it, and this button lights up. When I press it like this, I'm using HDMI CEC, you know, I'm gonna scroll and Kodi or something, and it sometimes doesn't register, and it's annoying, and I have to press it very hard, and it doesn't go very fast. And let's say my other control like this, when I use the other TV that's now in my room, I can just do this, and it works perfectly fine. So this control is probably a bit dirty, maybe not, we'll see. That's what we're going to find out. At least I'm going to try to clean it up. So first you want to get the batteries out, and then you want to open it up, of course. Sadly we'll have to open everything up here, and that makes things a little bit difficult because there are no screws in this type of controller. Alright, so when you have got it opened up, what you want to do is clean these pads. As you can see, you short two of these together each time you press one of these, which conducts, and then you're sending a signal to your TV or to your PlayStation or whatever. You want to clean this with soapy water, not with contact 60 or contact sexy, because that can possibly bite away at the contacts, and you don't want that. So use soapy water, use something like an eraser maybe, even that works, not sure. Saw someone do that online, and just clean it up and see what happens. I'm going to get something like soapy water. I'm going to have to use this piece of toilet paper as less as possible, because it doesn't have to soak up a whole lot of soap water. And it has to be like this, and then I can clean it like that, because you have to invent stuff. Oh well. I got a little bit of soapy water over here, and what you want to do is just go over it and clean it off very gently, and then it should be okay. I'm going to do this a little bit off camera because this is boring. Once you've done that, you can just kind of clean it off with some other like toilet paper or kitchen paper towel, something like that. And you also want to clean this one. This one is easier. You can just make it wet and won't break, you know, it's totally fine. So that one is easier, but this one you have to be a bit more careful for corrosion. Okay, so when you think you're done, you just drop it back in, however your button arrangement may look. It doesn't really matter. Just want to get it back in its original place. It's a little bit tricky with remote control sometimes. So now it's back together, and let's just do a little test. You know, it's probably still going to be, you know, a little bit slow because this remote control is probably kind of slow because it's a control, you know, remote control. But still, let's try it out. Yeah, it's a little bit better, you know. Still not as fast as you know, as my other TV, but you know, it's a Samsung, so then you know what price range it's from and the quality that comes with it. Not really that great from that range of years, but yeah, that's not too bad. That's totally okay. It's just an old remote. So yeah, I would say that was yeah, kind of a success, give or take. But anyways, I hope this video helped you anyways, and yeah, you can use this for any kind of controller or maybe game console, handheld game console, whatever you have. And I hope this video helped you, and I will see you guys in my next video. So Bye, guys.